me just put on my my 50th show hair.
Your talking hair?
Yeah, my talking hair. There we go. Okay. My God.
Oh my God.
It's hot as balls in here right now.
We just stepped up the ridiculousness right here.
I know, right?
Damn.
Okay. So let's go on to our discussion, and we're going to do.
Dave Mustaine.
Yeah.
Chris, that is a nice story. You should tell Reader's Digest. So let's go on to our discussion for the third fucking time. Shut up. And we're going to do.
Oh, is that your real hair?
We're going to do what we did for April, our April top 3, and actually talk about our top 3 picks for the month of July on the podcast. Shut the fuck up.
Dude, it's impossible not to laugh. Your hair keeps shaking every time you talk.
I'm just in the mood for Shirley Temple all of a sudden.
I haven't felt what it's like to have hair in about a decade.
This is also very, very true.
So, Chris, start talking.
About your hair. All right, well, I'll just start with my number 3 here. Ginger, King of Everything. I talked about this band, I think it was like 2 weeks ago or last week. I forget which one it was, but it's a female-fronted heavy metal band from the Ukraine. They are pretty damn good. I think we listened to them. We listened to them the other day.
Yeah, I feel like it was earlier in the week. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I think it was like Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I really like the vocalist. I forgot her name, but when I first listened to the record, I could not tell that it was a female doing the harsh vocals. But you know, after I found that out, it makes perfect sense, and she does both very, very well.
I was gonna say it's only the one vocalist.
Yeah, it's only the one.
Wow, yeah. Then she does change from the clean to the harsh very well.
Yeah, I was very like when I looked up the band, I saw that the band listing was just her as vocals. That was pretty impressive. The music's pretty damn good. Lots of heaviness in there. Little genty. You know, not as genty as say like Meshuggah or Periphery, or a little bit more straightforward, a little bit more driving, I would say. But still, you know, heavy. They have a little bit of there was that one track that was came out of nowhere that had like a reggae sound to it or a funk sound to it. Do you remember that? It's towards the end of the album, I think.
Yeah, I did. I do remember that.
Yeah, and they just pull that kind of stuff out of nowhere. Again, I really enjoyed it, and like I just pretty much sticking with tradition here. I picked a band with a badass female-fronted female frontwoman. So
called it.
Yeah.
All right. Before I get into my number 3, I'm going to do an honorable mention real quick.
Oh, shit, we have one of those this week.
Blood Red Throne, Union of Flesh and Machine, is a pretty fucking cool album. I really like Blood Red Throne. They are a fantastic death metal band, so definitely worth checking out. But for me, number 3 is actually going to be the Scour EP,
Nice.
Which is a project between Phil Anselmo and members of Cattle Decapitation, Pig Destroyer, and Strong Intention. Now, Phil Anselmo's bullshit aside, this is actually a really, really solid black metal album, and it's actually kind of in between extreme metal, black metal, and grindcore, which I think is kind of a given, given the pedigree of the different musicians involved here. And Anselmo's vocals work really well on this. I think that's kind of the thing that surprised me the most, is just it sounds really fucking good. And when you consider you have all these different backgrounds for the musician, you're gonna have some pretty consistent musicianship in terms of the way it sounds. It's a pretty damn decent black metal album. I would be definitely interested in hearing some more of this. I'd be thinking that'd be maybe a little bit of penance for some of Anselmo's jackassery, but yeah, it's a good album. It's a good little extreme album.
Before I start, would you stop laughing? It's not funny.
I can't see your face. All I see is the fucking hair.
What? Before I start, I want to say that, again, with all the videos that we've been doing lately, I've been pretty busy this month. And the number of new releases that I listened to over the course of July is probably no more than 5. And I'm saying this because I don't want that to necessarily diminish my list as saying, like, well, I only listened to this many, and therefore, you know, here's this. This is the best of what I heard. They are definitely great albums in their own right. So I'm going to start off first with Wolf Hoffman, Headbanger Symphony. I always had an appreciation for classical music. I don't sit there and listen to it very often. I actually kind of use it to fall asleep sometimes. I love it when it gets brought into heavy metal, as far as like backing stuff. But this is a guitar player, a very good guitar player, playing classical music and kind of rearranging it to be more heavy metal, and it's great. Looking more into it after we talked about it the first time, it is actually Wolf Hoffman picking certain bits of classical music and arranging them for heavy metal. So it wasn't just like, it wasn't as I thought it was, like where he's just kind of arranging things on his own and occasionally throwing in a cover of things. Like, no, he's picking certain things, songs like Swan Lake, Night and Ball Mountain and whatnot, and doing his own rendition of them. And it's great to see because of the fact that we know that Wolf Hoffman is a great guitar player from his time in Accept, but this is a kind of a chance for him to show off a little bit more of what he's capable of and what his interests are. So I would definitely suggest just checking it out for the talent in it. And if you kind of just need a little bit of something to kind of keep you refreshed before the new Accept album comes out. So, Wolf Hoffman.
All right, next one up for me was the newest one from Revocation, Great Is Our Sin. And it is a great thrash metal record. We've mentioned Revocation a lot, especially when we talked a long time ago, almost a year ago, about our discussion on quantity versus quality. Revocation is a band that releases new albums, maybe not even just like every 2 years. They're like almost on every year and a half to every like year almost. These guys are prolific. And but the thing is, that doesn't diminish the quality of their stuff. Every time they release a new record, it is always good. The last one, Deathless, was in 2014, absolutely blew me away.
The cadence and speech, dude.
Away.
That album blew me.
I want to buy that album.
It's the most pleasing album ever.
The audio blowjob.
That's our next t-shirt. Shred Shack giving you audio blowjob.
Hashtag audio blowjob.
But anyway, the most important part about this band is Dave Davidson. He is the guitarist, frontman, and just general music songwriter for this band. And like I said, every release that they have sounds fresh, even though they don't really stray too far from a formula. They are a thrash metal band through and through. Amazing, amazing guitar work, and just heavy and fun. Every time they release a new record, I'm going to be one of the first ones in line to pick it up. And this is no different. It's fucking incredible.
Cool. All right. For number 2, I'm going to take Castle with their 4th album, Welcome to the Graveyard. So I'm actually kind of surprised that, Chris, you didn't actually cover this band.
It's probably something that slipped through the cracks.
I mean, it's a heavy doom metal duo out of California, and I think one member is from Canada, if I'm not mistaken. And it's female fronted.
Oh,
okay, so that's what I mean. I was like, dude, I thought for sure, especially because this is fuzzy 1970s style heavy metal at its finest. I was like, there's no fucking way Chris isn't covering this, but somehow it slipped through.
We are making new notes now.
So yeah, like I said, this is a duo. The singer and bassist Liz Blackwell, I mean, her vocals are incredible. It wouldn't surprise me if she was like a long lost relative or daughter of Lemmy. I mean, it's that
Nice.
She's that good. It's powerful, heavy riffage throughout. This album is definitely a doom masterpiece. Really, really good.
Nice. Definitely going to have to check that one out.
My number 2 for July, I'm actually going to not talk about that much because of the fact that
You wrote a fucking review.
I've already talked enough about it. Stone Kings, From Creation to Devastation. Like I said last week when we actually reviewed the album, and as I said in the review that I wrote for it, great album. You know, a miss here or two, but for the most part, it's a great, catchy album. Good and heavy. There's not much more. I mean, it's great. So, check out the album.
Check out the album.
Read my review.
Thank you. Read my fucking review. Come on. You were so adamant about it last week.
My fucking review.
My fucking review. It's over here now.
Doing the Italian hands, wearing an Irish hat. That's great. I'm good like that.
You and your ginger.
Yeah, I know. I'm still remember what it's like to have hair because I'm still doing this repeatedly. It's instinctive. It's not over here anymore though. There we go.
All right, number 1, Periphery 3 select difficulty. There was absolutely no doubt in my mind this is going to be my number one for July as soon as I knew it was going to be released. Genty as hell. I've been a big fan of Periphery since their Clear EP a couple years ago, and the main thing about them for me is their vocals, because the guy, I don't know his name offhand, but he can go from his screaming singing style to the clean singing style at the drop of a dime. One of the other bands I thought they had 2 singers, but it's totally not. The music is really fucking good. It's they're more Genty than Ginger is, but there's some elements of thrash to it. Like their opening track just beats you over the head immediately. But the thing about this album is that they progress a little bit towards the end, where they involve a little bit more strings. Things get a little bit more atmospheric. The songs get a little bit more, I wouldn't say epic as far as like, prog epicness, but there's a little bit more feeling behind it. There's just a lot more to the songs themselves as they progress throughout the album. And when you hit the end, there's like a full, I think it might even be a full orchestra piece at the end of it. It's actually, that good. So I would highly recommend this band for anybody who's a fan of Animals as Leaders, Tesseract, Revocation even, and just good old-fashioned heavy metal music. So, select difficulty.
Awesome. All right, so I've been watching Stranger Things on Netflix ever since it came out, and I am absolutely enthralled with the fucking soundtrack of that show. It's that very kind of retro synthwave style of music that I think just is emblematic of that era. And it's interesting because we've talked about like that 1970s Sabbath style rock making a comeback. Seems like that genre is making a comeback as well in a lot of different ways. One of them being dungeon synth. I think this is something that is fairly recent because the community seems to be pretty small, but the band that I found this month just blew me away.
See, that's how you say it.
So, and I've just been amazed by this genre ever since it. So my number one for July is Olden Helm with their debut EP, Long Lost Relics of Power. I'll just say what I said back then. This sounds like to me like a lot of different influences from, Italian horror soundtrack masters Goblin, to Mortis, to even early black metal pioneers. It's all there. Even though it's minimalist in style and very synth heavy, they make soundscapes that just I can't explain. We've talked about this too before. This is a one-man project, and yet it sounds like something that took an effort of an entire band, and yet no, it's an amazing sound. I think what I want to do either next week or maybe the week after is do a couple of social media highlights from that dungeon synth community, because it's very, very cool. But for me right now, Olden Helm is representative of that genre, and he's done an amazing job. And yeah, so it's number one for me.
Nice. You can
Mine-
download their thing for $1 on Bandcamp.
It's worth it. It's worth more than $1 for sure.
How many tracks is it?
It's 3.
Oh.
It's was it an EP?
Yeah, it's an EP.
Okay.
Not like 30 minutes of.
Well, one track is 11 minutes long.
Okay, so basically it's like the length of a Slayer album.
But it's good stuff. Like, I would recommend it, like, if you have like a role playing dungeon group that maybe you're the DM for, this would be a good soundtrack for
I love
that,
it because
for
the
your
tags
campaign.
on their Facebook, on their
Oh, that's right. It's
Bandcamp
like
page.
RPG, right? I think
It's
it's
like,
on
yeah,
there.
it's
Yeah.
like ambient dark, ambient dungeon, synth, fantasy music, medieval RPG soundtrack, California.
Yep. Yes.
Love it.
My number one for the month, I actually did not hear until this past week, which is a shame because it's so good. Fate's Warning. The album's called Theories of Flight. Fate's Warning is one of those bands that I've known about for a long time because they've been around forever, but I have not given them a proper listen, which is a damn shame because they are awesome.
I remember back in the day, back at at the house in Dix Hills, I think you had like 1 or 2 tracks by Fates Warning on the old computer we used to share.
I have one or two tracks, and that's what I knew of them, and their cover of
Don't Talk to Strangers?
Sign of the Southern Cross.
Oh, that's the one. That's the one.
Yeah. I actually have probably their first 6, 7 albums on cassette from the Metal Blade thing, but I have not listened to them, unfortunately.
But you're such a cassette guy.
I know, right? But I haven't given them a proper listen, and I didn't know enough about them until I really sat down and listened to this. But they are extremely good. They're considered to be a progressive metal band, but not progressive in the same vein as, say, like super proggy like Dream Theater would be. They're the embodiment of what Queensryche was trying to do in the 90s. Queensryche, unfortunately, pretty much failed at it.
Jumped the shark.
Yeah. Well, I heard Promised Land was pretty good in fans' eyes, but like everything else thereafter. But they kind of have that vibe. I was trying to when I listen to music, there are some words that kind of automatically come to mind depending on how you listen to it. And my main thought was the word sweeping, because these songs, they carry on, they kind of get you, they go along. They're catchy. The guitar work is heavy. It's good. It just gets you into it, and then the choruses just kind of pick you up. They're not like big bombastic choruses, but they are just good, catchy. There's not much more I can say about it. It was surprisingly heavy for what I knew of the band previously. So I think this is one of those cases where I think a lot of it was that surprise factor, like oh my god, what am I missing? How do I not know about this? And it's a great album all around. I can't get much more into it like that. Honestly, it's just great progressive album. So I'm not good at describing things on the fly.
Yeah, usually when we script these things out, I think there's a little less.
Yeah. That's why my information before about Erudite Stoner was like really, really well thought out. Unfortunately, I didn't get to write down any sort of specific things for Fates Warning. Except I'm going to say it right now. Go listen to the album. It's on YouTube. That's how I got it. So if you agree or disagree with us, let us know on our Facebook page, facebook.com/theshredshack, theshredshack.com/thefacebook. You can also let us know in the comments below, because this is going to be on YouTube. I need to stop messing with my non-hair. I'm just like,
Non-hair.
I'm so pretty.
Yeah. But actually, we're going to have Pat and Reese do their top 3 on, I believe they're going to do it live on the show, and we're actually going to put it up after this. So I'm going to have those guys take it away to close out this video.
So, for those of you who watch our videos, every time we do a top 3 video, we split it up between the Texas crew and the New York crew. We are doing something different now. So, for the next month, possibly the next couple of months, we are going to be doing our top 3 favorite albums of whatever month we're talking about on the radio. And while this is going on, we're having it filmed. So,
where did that come from?
Just set up a camera there in the corner. So we are going to be recording this. For those of you who have checked out any of our videos, we have split it up so that each of us pick 3 videos. 3 videos. We have picked
3 groups.
Let's try this again. For those of you who have seen our videos, we have split it up amongst ourselves, the New York and the Shred Shack crew in Texas. We'll do 3 videos.
You're failing today.
I am really failing at this.
Okay, let me give it a try. For
right.
those who have seen our videos, we tend to split it up between 3 groups for Pat and myself.
We do not. See, nobody can introduce this right.
No, we pick 3 bands.
Yeah, you said we split it up between 3 groups.
Yeah, 3 groups, 3 bands.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like 3 groups of videos.
No,
okay.
not like groups of videos.
All right. I'm going to do this.
Sure
I'm going to do this.
Okay.
I'm going to do this right.
Come on, so I was actually getting an intro for once.
Okay. All right, you want to do the intro?
You know what? I want to do the intro.
You do the intro.
All right, for those of you who have seen any of our videos for our top 3 for the month, myself and Pat, we tend to pick 3 bands, and then the guys down in Texas, they each pick 3 bands.
Yes.
So this time, as we have decided to do something a little bit different, maybe for the next couple months,
yes,
this will be the new format where we're doing it while we're actually doing the actual radio show.
Right. So we're going to start off the top 3 list right now with Sinsanum. We're going through July of 2016 because that month just ended. So we're going to do an August one at the end of this month. So July starts off with Sinsanum. This is a supergroup that was formed by Frederick, can't pronounce his last name, from Dragon Force. He made a whole bunch of metal demos since 1998 with no real outlet for them until he was talking to Stefan from Loud Blast, and they talked about actually continuing the project and releasing it. The album also features Joey Jordison on drums, members of Chimera and Mayhem. So,
I think a little bit of not Megadeth, Mastodon's in there too.
No, actually, it is not.
Oh really? I thought it was,
I don't think it
this
is.
morning.
I have to double check that.
All right.
But I will double check. I'm not sure.
But holy crap, this album is amazing.
It is really good. Yeah. It says that there are 21 tracks,
Yes.
but you know, you cut out the instrumentals.
Intros and all that such, outros.
It's like 13.
But you know what? That's a good album line.
Yeah. A lot of really good tracks on this. Army of Chaos, or some other good ones.
Forgotten One was
Forgotten
another one.
My favorite is Inverted Cross. And the solo on that is just straight up amazing. The whole song has a lot of aggression. This is a very aggressive release. I was not expecting it to be this.
You were expecting more, Dragon Force-y, weren't you?
Because I hear Dragon Force and I hear Joey Jordison, and I figure it's going to be more mainstream sounding.
Mm-hmm.
This is heavy as hell, and I think
Yes.
Sean from Chimera and Attila from Mayhem really helped to solidify that.
Definitely, because when you first hear the vocals on this, it's just utter growling and utter mayhem and utter awesomeness,
Yes.
and it makes you want to punch someone in the face.
That's usually a good sign. You and Dan have the same
Yeah.
reaction to that. All right, our number 2 album for the month of July is Dustbolt's Mass Confusion. This is an awesome thrash metal band from Germany. Never heard them before this, but the guitars and the drums on this are so amazing. It's very, very powerful and angry, but the production is really, really good. You can hear everything crystal clear. When you have a drummer like this, you need to be able to hear all of the notes,
Yes.
and it sounds fantastic.
Like, they definitely do a lot of double bass beats, which
Yeah.
I always enjoyed in songs.
Especially in thrash.
Yes. And me, I'm not the biggest thrash fan.
Yeah.
But for me to find something that I actually can get into and actually enjoy, it's always a wonder.
Well, you like Metallica, you like Anthrax.
Anthrax more than Metallica.
Yeah, okay. This band is very, very Anthrax.
Yes.
Especially in the song Mind the Gap,
Yes.
which I think is one of the better ones. We would have played it tonight, but it's not exactly radio friendly. But
No, not
it's a
really.
great song. You should really check it down. And if you can, check out the Japanese edition, because they do a cover of a Black Sabbath song on there.
Can you just download the Black Sabbath cover?
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. Maybe eventually you'll be able to do that. But yeah, if you can track this one down, it's definitely worth a listen.
Regional album releases are weird.
They are. They're very weird. Dan knows all about that.
Yeah.
He collects all of them. All right. And our number 1 album, which we're going to be playing something from this in a couple of minutes. Our number 1 album for the month of July, Black Crown Initiate.
When you first told me to listen to this, I was just like, okay, what am I listening to?
Yeah.
Oh my!
The album is called Selves We Cannot Forgive. And it's the first album that I've ever actually heard from these guys.
Yes.
But the name's popped up a couple times, and I honestly, I never really gave it a full listen, but it's really fantastic. It's really good progressive death from Pennsylvania, and
It's
I know,
funny we got a progressive death away from Chris.
well, that's not only that, but because I'm not the biggest progressive guy,
Yes.
you're not the biggest death guy,
Yes.
but
It
this-
works so well together. It really does.
It's really great. It's a lot more diverse than you'd expect. If you just heard the single for Red Cloud, you need to check out the rest of the album. It's got a lot of
Yes.
dips and dives, a lot of unexpected sound. And some tracks, they feel like they were thrown together at the last second, but only in a good way, kind of like a good wall of sound band is.
Yeah.
And the insane vocals, the amazing drums really make this worthwhile. The title track, spot on,
Hands
amazing.
down, just awesome.
Yeah, it's everything that makes the band great. It's got everything that makes them great with some new stuff added. And it sounded like that little break in the middle of the song.
Yeah, that little break just kind of just does it perfectly for
It's
it.
really jazzy. I
Yeah,
like it.
it just fits so well.
I normally don't say that I approve of jazz, but I'll deal with it on this one. It's very good. So, Yeah, Black Crown.
But not like Kenny G Jazz.
No.
Definitely not like Kenny G Jazz.
This
We're
is
talking
like this is like the opposite of Kenny G.
yeah. We're talking about like actual
Like Isan jazz.
Yes, very good jazz.
Yeah. So if you got a chance, please check out these guys. Check out this release, Selves We Cannot Forgive. It is really, really good. So that is our top 3 for the month, and we will let whoever's in charge of editing it now that Dan is preparing for his test. You have fun editing the crap out of this because we messed up a lot.
Yeah, have fun with that.
Let's play some Black Crown.